Kimidi Rama Mallik Naidu, who has been serving as TDP State Secretary since 2020. His father, Kimidi Venkata, is a popular personality in Srikakulam who played a very prominent role as a Minister of Energy, Municipal Administration, Home, Commercial Tax, Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam Chairman, TDP State President and Member of Parliament. As a son of him, Rama Mallik Naidu also wanted to follow his father's footprints. Even though he did his master's in NYT from New York, United States, he did not want to go into business or any corporate job. Let's watch the interview of this young TDP State Secretary, Shri Rama Mallik Naidu, to know about what is in his heart. A very good evening, sir.
Good evening, Andy.
Welcome to a talk with Santosh Kumar Karimilli.
Nice meeting you and talking to you, Santosh here.
And at first, I would like to be very thankful to you for accepting an interview with us, sir.
It was a pleasure, more than anything else.
Sir, I would like to start with the question. You were born in our locality of Srikakulam, but brought up in Hyderabad because of your schooling up to graduation.
Yeah.
And even you went to US for master's degree. My doubt is, being a master student of business, why did you come to this politics? I mean, you are influenced by your father or anyone behind you to influence you to come into the politics?
My father is one reason, obviously, because he's been into politics for 40 years. And since I was a child, I've been always looking into politics, seeing it day and night. And I've seen how he's gone from one stature to other stature. And even not only that, but more than importantly, it is about the people. Because I have seen how, like you're now telling about Srikakulam, I know how Srikakulam was when there was no Madhuvalsa. How Srikakulam is today when there is a Madhuvalsa, especially for Razam or for Palkonda reason. And then if you talk about Hecharla, today you can talk about Totapalli project. Because of Totapalli project, how irrigation has been improving, we have been seeing. So we, like from childhood only, I knew that how it was, especially when there was no water and when there is water, and how Srikakulam started to develop since last 15-20 years, you know. And how Srikakulam was before 15-20 years was also another aspect primarily. So these are one things. And the other thing, the most influential thing for me is Chandrababu Naidu garu to get into politics.
Oh.
Not today, but even he came to even my school when I was studying in Hyderabad. What was his prime agenda was people should first study, then people should settle down in their lives, let it be education, let it be IT or whatever be your profession, you improve on it. And then when you think it's an appropriate time, come out for service of the people, service of the country. So in this way you have to do is what more.
Then when did you meet first time CBN Garu? What is his impressions on you at the first meet?
Basically, Chandrababu Naidu garu, I met him first time in 2002 in my school when he came for an inauguration for my little school in Little Flower High School in Hyderabad. So that I was studying in 10th, and at that time he came to the school for for opening of our computer lab, new computer lab, and because he was the IT guy or whatever, you know, in school everyone was, because that was 1 year after Bill Gates and Bill Clinton came to Hyderabad, and they went back in 2001 after Cyberabad, the opening of our Cyberabad towers. So that was an impression. And then we saw a man who was a leader with vision, because as a 10th class student I could understand that he was saying 2020. So 2020 in 2002 was a long way.
Now we are
in 2020. So what he was saying, like, this is how we'll have to develop Hyderabad, this is how irrigation projects will grow. So he gave a nearly...
Now, sorry to interrupt. He said at that time, when you are in 10th class, he said Vision 2020. Now, all those things come true now because you are witnessed.
Yeah, now I witnessed that whatever his vision is, today we see that in Hyderabad, today we see that in Telangana, today we are seeing that in Andhra Pradesh. Whatever he had as a vision are coming live, and you are able to, because we are growing. So we have seen that 18 years of journey, or today it's almost like 20 years of journey, and whatever he has said has come true. Of course, he was no intention of a state division then. That was a
It's
different topic. So
unfortunate.
so that's a different topic altogether. But at that particular point, he was whatever he imagined, how he wanted Hyderabad to turn in, how Hyderabad had to become a city in the global map, and how Andhra Pradesh has to have a place among the countries in the world, not among the states in India, but he wanted Andhra Pradesh to have a place among the countries in the world. Like, okay, people recognize you by Andhra Pradesh, and that's been coming true. How many of my own friends, or almost there are more than 2.5 generations of people who have gone to US, UK, settled in different walks of life, and altogether one reason behind all those things is Nara Chandrababu Naidu. So he's got that influence, and when obviously as a youngster, as a teenager, growing years, okay, Chandrababu Naidu garu, a vision, a leader. So someday, at least, if you're not obviously reaching his heights is a different, entirely a different thing, but his influence that okay, we can change politics, we can bring a new narrative into politics, we can make people's life better. Like a poor farmer's son is today in US doing an IT job and earning 10 times and giving back to his own country and even to other people in the world makes all the difference. There are many doctors today, and especially during Corona, he's set up or biotech, or Bharat Biotech is his brainchild. Like, he was there, he said, okay, pharmacy, tomorrow is going to be a day come when you might need these medical facilities. So that's the vision, and that's a leader, a true inspiration, and we are happy that he is our boss, or he is our party chief, and whatever you give him. So that's a huge inspiration. And I think apart from Chandrababu Naidu garu, the next inspiration is my father, how hard he used to work, and have seen his journey in politics, and how he always used to tell me that, okay, what is the best thing that you have done, dad, as a politician or a leader in the people life, in the public life. He used to say, Maddu Valasa. Now he talks about Thotapalli, because he says these are for everyone. Roads are for everyone. Infrastructure is for everyone. It's not about TDP, it's not about YCP, it's not about caste, or it's not about religion. Infrastructure, irrigation, these are for everyone. So he says tomorrow when people look at it, at least they'll remember that okay, there was so sad people who have done it. So today you remember, you look at Hyderabad, you remember Chandrababu Naidu. You look at water projects, you remember Chandrababu.
True.
So these are the inspirations.
So as per as your educational qualification, you have to work with or work for any multinational companies.
I've actually not worked for any multinational companies, but I have done a little project with Bloomberg, because I was doing my MBA finance. So it was a must that we have to go out and do a project report on any companies. And I was doing it in New York. So I had the privilege to go to Bloomberg and do it. So I've done my project on Bloomberg, and I've done my project in Goldman Sachs.
You are looking after your business. And 2020 onwards, secretary for TDP party.
Yeah.
Both are very big deals, really, because looking after a huge business is a very big deal, as well as in the political party, because you have to prove yourself right now. So how could you manage both the things in the same way? Can you?
Yeah, I'm able to manage it equally, because not as of now, but that's how I've been brought up, because when you grow in a political family, you see politics, and you grow in a business come political family, you have that in you really grow through, what you have to go through to come up in both the walks of life, let it be politics or let it be business. But today I'm not looking after my business from the time I have entered into politics.
Okay.
From the time I'm looking into mainstream politics, it's been my other family members that are taking care of my businesses. So
That's very happy to hear from you, sir.
so today, after TDP State Secretary, I've been completely been dedicated in last 2 years for
Oh,
mainstream politics.
politics. Oh, then giving jobs for hundreds of the people. You are a god to them, your employees especially. Huge respect wherever you go to your organization. But when you come to politics, the same thing will not happen. Half of the people worship you, and half of the people ready to hate you, ready to troll you where you are. And so, do you aware all these things? Because just you told me when you are bringing up in the political family. So, if I jump into the politics, I might be criticized by the people.
Yeah, I knew that from the time because I've never been a navy to the politics because in 2004 I campaigned for my dad when I was in 18 years old. So then I saw there were people who used to talk good, there are people who talk bad, there are people who are neutral. So at 18 only I could gauge that during the 2004 campaign. Then 2014 when I came back from US and campaigned on a full scale, I knew credits were given that okay 2014 campaign we got victorious, so obviously they were all credits going on your way because you are like okay you came in, so you brought in the victory frame or whatever it is. And 2019 we lost elections, so the burden of even losing has come on as a teaching only. And I could learn even that okay, even when you lose, there are people who say you know what, you could have been here for more time or whatever they say, you know. So all these things have been, though I was not into full-time politics, yet I was doing whatever I could on my part for my party and for the people of the constituency, and the whatever I could I was doing. So I knew at that time that there are two sides of whatever I'm going into. When I go into politics, there is always two sides of the same coin. Sometimes it might be heads, sometimes it might be
Okay.
tails. So you it's
Equal.
there it's for movie stars it's every Friday, for politicians it's every 5 years.
Oh, well said. So already you were influenced when you are in graduation in India. So you thought at the time you entered into politics, right?
Yes.
That's great. Then when you are in US, you observed, I think, what exactly going in the political scenario in US.
Yes.
Or it is developed country. So when you are there, what did you do to do something for your country? What footnotes you have prepared at the time?
Exactly, when I was in US, particularly the governance and basically how governance is there, we could have a study on it and we were actually looking into it. Few of my friends also all together, we were actually looking into how actually US system works and how perfectly they say if there is a system it's like US, like people talk and it's been there. So how they were able to improve it. Then we came to know that there was a time when women were not allowed to vote in US. There was a time when if I'm not called what you call rational or being a racist, there was a time when
Racism.
racism and blacks couldn't come out. So they have gone
Still, it
through,
was there when you were in US.
not when I was in US, but when I was studying about what
Okay,
exactly
the
the
history of
democracy is
yes, yes.
of 365 years.
Yeah.
So they came along, so we are just 75 years old country if you are talking about post independence. So now we knew that okay, even for our country we need to give a time, and there were few footnotes exactly like how to develop a country, how to make a revolution. We have a green revolution, we have a white revolution. Now a revolution of IT or whatever you call data, give it any name you want, has to come from the villages again, like the green revolution, like the white revolution for the milk. It's the same way the IT revolution has to come out of the villages, which is happening on the digital note or whatever, let it be now our prime minister's vision, or even before him our own leader Nara Chandrababu Naidu garu's vision was also the same thing that has been happening now. You can see that okay, cashless society and everything digitalized, everything you sit in your home and you need to get everything, like you can just okay, you want a passport you can do it from home, you want a other car you can do it from home. So these are what few footprints that we were learning during we were in US. We were taking note of how they used to their social security card, you name it, or whatever, how they processize their system. So few of those changes have been happening since I came back to India. I have been looking it, and when and where I could give inputs, I would obviously give it in the days to come to improve our own lifestyle in India. Of course, there is a long way to go because
Of course.
we are a unanimous country with unanimous.
So huge country.
It's just impossible that you can just say that okay, because Rome was not built in a day, so obviously you can't talk about India. It can't change, but there are a lot of changes happening, and obviously, especially if you're talking about river linkings,
Oh.
that's a very important thing. Cleaning of the rivers, because the corporate worlds used to be fined heavy notes in US for cleaning of the rivers if there is anything dirty happening with the rivers because of corporates. So these are some laws that are coming now even in our country, and these were few takeaways that we were taking down in US, especially their way of political elections. Everything is
Political stand.
how you are questioning me right now in TV interview, that decides the entire fate of a president or even a senator in that country.
Of course, sometimes, not exactly all the time. For the 2 years.
Yeah.
So, as a student leader, what were your achievements and how those achievements helpful to you to build a confidence within you being a leader now?
That was a very big step towards whatever I'm doing today, because that was one opportunity given to me during my studies in US, because it was a new program that came into the college also. They have set it up newly, and they wanted Indian students to have their own Indian student president who could talk about them if there are any issues. And it was a normal student union thing that would help, charity programs we did during that time, and especially helping orphan children with and blankets for poor people sleeping on the roads when during the winter times, especially in New York. There are minus degrees that are there, so it's very hard for these people. They go to churches and sleep. So we were doing a big way to help all these people, and in a way that helped me to learn that there are problems in any country. It is about how you change them and how best you can help to get people out of those conditions. So that was one big thing that I was able to learn during those charity programs as a student union leader. I was doing that. Okay, there are problems. It's not like everywhere. It is like it's not like okay, merry go around. There are people everywhere. People everywhere need help, and even best of the people will need help sometimes, because there are students will come to you and they talk to you about their problems. So out of this I was able to learn that people need help. Sometimes it's not about people are, because they are not in a good condition, then only they'll need help is not the only answer to you. It is about even people who look good, people who are good in every aspect also need help. They might need help because they need to talk and tell to you something that they can't share. So in this way I was able to learn that okay, there are different aspects in which you can help a society.
When
So
you're talking, I can see your father. Great. Then I want to ask you one question to you, sir. In our Srikakulam, Rama Mallik Naidu and as well as Rama Mallik Naidu, both you are shining stars of Srikakulam in youth. I'm very happy because I'm a citizen of Srikakulam. But he is always shining in media. Whenever we open any social media, YouTube, whatever the channels, he always appears. But why I can't see Rama Mallik Naidu?
difference is there. He's already a member of parliament for 2 times, and he's been into mainstream politics, obviously because after his father's death he walked into politics, and he was also in US studying. So but he came back, and obviously there were obvious reasons, and he got into politics and he's shining well. He's my peer. I really like him, and we've been friends since childhood, so I know him, and he's doing good as a politician, and he's carrying on his father's legacy. And obviously being an MP he gets that extra bit of thing, and he's into mainstream politics for 10 years, whereas I was on and off on and off
On and
peer. So I
Now
was
for
not.
2 years,
These 2 years I've
onwards,
been
yeah.
into straight politics. Before this, okay, I have done, whenever party gave a call, I used to come in and help wherever it was required, whether it be for special status. I've done a 12-hour dharna when Chandrababu Naidu garu did it in Vijayawada, I did it in Echarla constituency, and then even that cycle yatras that were planned for special status during 2017 and 19 time, even that time also wherever it was there, I participated in it. And whenever there were opportunities given, I was able to do it. Now because of given a post, a responsibility more from Chandrababu Naidu garu and Nara Lokesh garu, and I thank them for giving me that responsibility. And today, because when there is a responsibility on you, you have to obviously keep it up, and I've been trying my best to keep it up.
Yeah, why I'm asking the question is, so any product should be sold out. They require a propaganda. We know already the product is good, but it requires a channelized propaganda. So that's why you require a huge media support, I think. What do you say for that? And what are the steps you're going to take for that to propagate yourself to close to the people?
For that, it's a very simple thing from my side. What I always think, or as a family, or as my dad's legacy also, it's not about for us, it's more about, okay, media is there, media will focus, but media will focus on you when you are doing something with the people, for the people, and all along with the people. So that's been our focus, and it's been always, that's where the media attention always been, as a family also. And I want to carry that forward, and since last 2 years I've been getting enough focus, but obviously I need to, if like whatever your answer to your question is, in coming days, more interviews, more talking shows, and taking my ideas into people. And in this way I want to improve. If there is anywhere a lag, that I want to just improve by doing these things. But as of now, I think there has been an enough exposure, especially in Echarla constituency, regarding whatever people problems were there. We are fighting on the ground level day to day, and it is being covered by the media on day to day basis.
Do you have any plans in your mind to reach the youth, especially in the university level?
Yeah, we are coming up with specialized programs for youth, for women, and for the age old people, and for all other sections. Let it be backward, let it be SC, ST, for everyone. We are coming up with plans to meet them individually, to talk to them, to know about their problems, and whatever problems already we have identified, we want to talk with them and make a proper action plan that we are required to bring back our party, Telugu Desam party, to power in 2024, and in Echarla to make Kala Venkata garu again MLA. So we are looking into individual things, and obviously being a youth leader, I want to be interact more with the youth, so that I want to get ideas from them. What are their exact problems? Especially today, their biggest problem is about jobs. They were promised 2,30,000 jobs, and they have been given only peanuts.
True.
So that's one huge problem that we are right now. We are trying to talk about that problem, and obviously we are not in power, so we can't say that we will improve on it or we will do justice on it. But obviously, when we come back to power, when the party will be on power, we will help the youth in getting more jobs and fulfilling whatever their requirements and needs are, to whatever greatest extensible possibility.
If anybody wants to create history, at first we have to know the history. When we come to our Andhra Pradesh history, NTR is a sensation in the industry of film as well as politics. What the welfare programs he introduced, still we are following whatever the government it is. So NTR, such a wonderful man. When he passed away, immediately CBN replaced that position, and he too created wonders. And now, once we look at Telugu Desam party, who is next? Because everywhere this talk is going on. It's not my question. It's a question of common people as well as a learned one also. What do you say for that, sir?
We have a perfect leader in name of Nara Lokesh garu. If it comes for the next generation, is an absolute wonderful leader. I've been looking in with him and going closely with him, traveling since last 4 5 years along with him, I can easily vouch for it that is a wonderful leader for people of this country, for the people of this state especially, because if you look at him, his credentials, he's been a Stanford graduate, so on educational level and on his exposure of how the world works, unquestionably has that experience and he has that exposure on one side. And the other side, if you look at the last 2 years from 2017 to 2019, being a minister for rural development, the amount of CC roads that have been laid across the state, it is a huge achievement and it was done. And that achievements 50% you have to give it to Nara Lokesh Garu, 50% to Chandrababu Naidu Garu, because after Nara Lokesh Garu became the rural development minister, the CC roads that were laid down across the state were doubled. In any constituency you take, you can just check the records are there for you. And the underground drainage system, or even especially if the LED lights you have to take in today, what we have across the state in the villages, it's his brainchild. So he was very much he was talking, he was working for that LED lights, because that's a huge problem in villages. So in this way he has obviously established as the next generation leader for us, and there is no question. Obviously people might talk in different ways, it's up to them, but obviously people are also seeing, if you see today, let it be any cause, especially for women, for students, he's fighting on the ground level. And during even pandemic times, you can give it to him thumbs up. During pandemic times, when people were unable to come onto the roads to fight for anything that they wanted, he was able to run a revolution digitally and stop 10th class exams, which were obviously the state was not going back on stopping the 10th class exams, especially during the second wave of corona. And it was really hard thing to see and listen to those children when they were talking digitally, that how can we go write the exams when we know that one of us is infected means our family will be infected. We can't know who is infected, who is not infected. He fought for them and he made sure through the courts that those exams are stopped. It's a huge achievement, when a person is unable to come onto the road and yet he was able to run a digital revolution. So on par with his father, he was showing his vision in that way. It's a vision, right? Digital revolution to stop 10th class exam. And after that, during 6 months back, the government was talking much about its so hyped Disha Act, but he proved it that there was no Disha Act in this state. It was only after him going onto the road and he was talking for the women who were getting affected on different levels. When he started talking and asking the question that, okay, if there is a Disha Act, then Ramya has to get justice in 21 days. Where was that justice then? And because of the so-called Disha Act, they are not implementing the Nirbhaya Act. This was totally been focused by Nara Lokesh Garu, and it came out into the people also. Even DGP, even the Home Minister, on record, they accepted that there was no Disha Act has so in this state, apart from the Disha police stations. So this way he was opening up the curtains that were being bring down by the government, saying that these are so-called acts, we are working for the women, whereas on the ground level, it's a zero act. So this way he is proving his credentials. If someone has to see, he already proved it in many ways, but still if questions are being raised, people can look at his work and judge him. And obviously, I'm telling 2024, he'll thumbs up the party to a triumphing victory in 2024 without any doubt. And we have no doubts about his leadership qualities. As a youth from that party, everyone is just waiting that when we can see our youth leader becoming a visionary leader in this state. We are just waiting for that day. Of course, as of now, he always says that it is Chandrababu Naidu Garu that has to come to power in 2024 as a CM. So obviously, under the leadership of Nara Lokesh Garu, the entire TDP youth wants to bring back Chandrababu Naidu Garu's governance in 2024.
So you said he's equivalent a leader to be Jagan.
I think he's a step ahead of Jagan.
Oh, any a few points. How could you, I mean, for the statement you proved?
That's what I'm saying. There is a CM who says that I'm giving you a Disha Act. In 21 days, any woman is any misdeeds done with women the person will be put to justice in 21 days. There is a Disha Act, he said. And when on ground, the opposition, especially led by Nara Lokesh Garu, goes out and fought for it and asked it and raised the question, where is the Disha Act? Where are those 21 days? Where are you able to implement it? And then comes out that it's not there. So this is one where I can easily say that okay, it's a comparison. He said to the people that he'll give 2 lakh 30,000 jobs where if he becomes chief minister, Jagan Mohan Reddy Garu. Till date, it's not been implemented. Nara Lokesh Garu didn't tell in 2014 that he will give LED lights to all the panchayats in this state, but he was able to do it during his 2-year stint as a minister. So that's how I can compare my leader with the current chief minister. The current chief minister is all about talks, whereas my leader is all about the work. So I can obviously vote for it.
Great, great to listen those things from you. And once the movie industry, especially the glamour industry, is the biggest strength for politics. It was proved with NTR, MGR, Jayalalitha, and so many.
Yes, always.
But now the current scenario is completely changed. All the calculations are changed. Some of the people are talking and few are looking at Junior NTR. If he comes to the TDP, he might be a savior. What do you say for this statement?
Right now, if in his own words, if you look at it, it's on record in 2016-17 when he gave the press report, he said he's into movies right now. He's completely concentrating on the movies and he's doing justice to whatever profession he has chosen. And obviously, I am no one to judge on how well he's doing on the movie front. He's a superstar. His movies
No
come,
doubt at all.
no doubt at all. And when time comes, that's a different question to be answered when the time comes. He himself is saying today that he is not going to come into politics as of now. It's his own statement. So he is there and doing his bit in whatever he has to do. And as of today, what we are looking at as a party is we have a future leader in name of Nara Lokesh. He is working for the party since 2009. In 2009, he campaigned in Kuppam for his father. In 2014, he campaigned in 35 constituencies in this state, if I am right, or he campaigned more. Exact number I don't know, but I can tell that nearly 23 to 25 of those constituencies TDP won, which were critical. And even bring back Babu teams that he brought in during 2014 played a huge part in bringing Telugudesam party to power after 10 years of being in opposition. And he played a very critical part in the back door during the marathon walk that Nara Chandrababu Naidu garu taken. So as of today,
our age also, hats off to him.
Hats off to him at that age. So obviously, in that way, right now we are looking at Nara Lokesh Garu as our future leader, and as he has whatever he is doing as of now for the party, he is going. We are more focusing on him, and he is more focusing on party and politics. He has left even his business, and to a part even he has left his family in Hyderabad and working hard here for the people. And as we are in opposition, even today when Chandrababu Naidu Garu is not going to the assembly, it's Nara Lokesh Garu who's leading the opposition fight inside the assembly, outside the assembly. So we are right now only looking into Nara Lokesh Garu. Junior NTR Garu, Lokesh Garu, everyone, they're all cousins. So it's a thing. So that's a different question to be answered at a very different point, not right now. So we can't tell right now what it is, but obviously Junior NTR Garu is our asset and he will always be our asset. So there is no question in it. Nara Lokesh Garu is right now our leader.
Great. So, in future, if the party allows you to enter into any position, where do you want to go? Assembly or parliament?
Whatever the party says. They ask me to go to assembly, I'll go to assembly. They'll ask me to go to parliament, I'll go to parliament. Even if they ask me to work for the party, I'll work for the party. As of
Without
now,
any position.
without any position.
Oh,
As of now, my thing into coming into politics is to work with TDP and for the people, to serve the people
yeah,
with
of course. If
TDP.
you have some power in your hands, then you can serve more,
Yes,
right?
that would be decided by the party high command, Chandrababu Naidu garu, Lokesh garu, as and when whatever opportunities they will give me, I will obviously use them for the benefit of the party and for the development of my people.
How can you define the word politics? Because the word's meaning is complete change today. How do you define the word?
For me, in simple words, if I can say about politics, politics is all about serving people. Politics, if you have to quote what NTR garu said, it's like it's a temple and people are your god. So if that's the main agenda of a party, and that's been what I've been inculcated as being a part of this wonderful, huge party that has come up in and taken 40 years with NT Ramarao garu establishing it, Chandrababu Naidu garu growing it, and now Nara Lokesh garu taking forward the party. We have always believed in that thing. People are our gods, and assembly is a temple, and it has to be respected. And politics is a word that has to be given its due respect. Okay, people can talk many things, but those things you can talk about any profession. It's not about politics. But politics is the only profession where you can't say I'm a profession. I'm a professional politician. You can say that I'm serving people. Politics is all about serving. You give in politics, you don't expect anything. So that is all about politics, and that's my meaning of politics.
That's great. When I'm listening you, uh, you were very much impressed with NTR as well as CBN Garu and your father. What are the common points, common ideologies among the three, and which one you want to follow most?
The single biggest common ideology in between the three of them is whatever you do, it is for the good of the larger people. Whatever you do as a politician, you have to do for the good of the larger section of the society, and especially for the poorer sections have to be included in your governance. This has been the common point, and this has been the point that I want to take forward. So whenever you do, you have to do a good that has to include the larger section of the society, and especially for the poorer section of the society. There should be no, at least not even 1% chance that you are leaving back the poorer section of the society. And whatever good has to be done for keeping in mind the larger section of the society, which obviously are the poorer, underprivileged, or whatever you call, give the names for them. So they are the larger section.
Your father was very busy in politics, and majority of your young age is in the schools and colleges, out from the home. So how you are with your father? Is it friendly nature? And how does he guide you?
My father is the biggest guide for me since a childhood. Whether he is inside in the house or whether he is not in the house, it's always been that okay, you are so and so's son, so you need to grow well, you need to do good. You should always keep in your mind that there are eyes that watch you. And the other thing, with especially the bonding with my father is very close for me, because being the elder son or the only son, and I have a younger sister of course, but
Okay.
so it's a very different kind of interactions, because he gets a very less time to spend with family, and he's a person who is more inwardly happy, sit at home, nicely watch a movie with the family and just laugh around if given a chance, more than going out, because he's always outside. So he's more inclined to sit at home and talk with us, know what we are doing, what we want to do in future. And obviously when I was in business or I was going to take care of the business, he used to give inputs on them. And when I wanted to come into politics, So then he told me
So
how.
you expressed at first your view to
Yeah,
enter the
I
politics.
expressed my view to my
Okay.
dad that I want to get into politics.
Okay. Then your dad
Yeah.
welcomed you. Okay. At the
Yeah,
time,
but because he always had only one thing in mind, that you should never force someone to do something. If it's them who want to do it, you should never stop them. So that's his basic idea. You should never force someone to do something because, okay, I am a politician, so you become a politician. No, you have your options. You know the hardships if you become a politician. You know how it will happen. If you want to come in, I'm okay.
when you shared the word which is in your heart to enter into the politics with your father, what did he say the first word to you?
The first word he said to me is good luck. You want to get in, but always remember that the greater good of the people should always be your way of work, and always keep it up in your mind that you should always look and work for the greater good of the people. That's what he said. Those were the 3 4 words that came out of his mouth the moment I said I want to get into politics.
In usual nowadays, every day, do you talk with your father regarding the current burning issues which are happening in our state?
Yeah, whenever we get time, we whenever it is possible, we sit around and talk, and or not, we talk on. We have normal discussions of whatever happens, current political situations, current situations in the state, even if it's not related to politics. Let it be any pandemics or anything, because today we are living in a different world compared to what it was 2 years ago. So we discuss almost everything and anything.
So recently, did you talk with your father anything, the burning issue which is happening in our state? Can you share with us?
Recently, the burning issue that we have been having for last 2 3 months, more discussions are about farmers, the plight of the farmers, especially the grains have not been brought. Even if the grains have been brought by the millers, the money that has to go back to the farmers has not gone back. So the government is not paying the millers, so the millers are not paying the farmers. In some sections, the farmers are having their own crops still in front of their own eyes, and they're like, what to do with them, because you really like, you want your crops to go. It's like a baby for you. For any farmer, a crop is his own baby. So when that baby is unable to go anywhere and stay there, and you are unable to do anything, there's nothing more harder for a farmer than that. So that was one issue that we've been talking about, and that's one issue that even our party been fighting about. And the other major issue is about the jobs, because they have said about jobs, they came to power, there were many people even during campaign where from side they used to shout that Jagan will come, they will give 2 lakh 30. So where is the 2 lakh 30? You are not able to give the 2 lakh 30,000 jobs today. And how can you say that our Navaratnalu is whatever they call it, a Bible, they call it as a, they were whatever they were saying. So when you, and that's one part of your whatever promises you made, it's a huge promise. And then the third thing that we usually been discussing for the last 3 years is about teachers, especially their CPS. He said once we come back into in a week, I'll bring back an act where the CPS will be completely cancelled, and he made a huge promise. That's a huge promise, because teachers were going, they just went fizz about it. So we talk about that. And other important thing that usually comes about discussion is about the pension for the old age people, because he said he'll give 3,000 and he's not able to give, and we listen to it because there are many old people who are still working on different levels in our whatever in our social lives. So you really look at it and you discuss. These are the important points that usually come up, and especially these days because everyone is talking about it. Wherever you go to anything, let it be to a marriage, let it to be any function, these are usually what people are coming to us and asking, sir, can anything be done about these things? So these have been the discussions going on usually.
My last question, you are very much disappointed with this present government. Why? Just tell me three biggest reasons, and if you are in the power, how can you overcome them? Because it is also very important, right? Because always giving statements is differ, but showing solutions is difficult.
First thing I am very much disappointed about this government is about the farmers. He has promised a 3,000 crore fund, especially for farmers prices. He said he will arrange a price fund where the prices won't go up, won't go down. There will be very stagnant of the prices, but he couldn't do that. The other thing that he said was that if there are, natural disasters or any other kind of disasters come up, he said he will arrange a 4,000 crore fund for them, and he'll make sure that there are no losses for the farmers because of natural disasters. But even that is not happening on the ground level, and even the minimum thing of buying from the farmers is not happening. Buying whatever crops the farmers are producing is not happening on time in this government. Then what else can we talk about? Other things, okay, but buying what is there in front of your eyes, what is stopping you from doing it? Why can't you buy when your farmer is able to produce it? Are you not buying it because Chandrababu Naidu garu gave the water to them? They were not the crops that were grown before, but now they are able to grow it because the water is coming from the previous government. Is that a reason? I don't know, because when in front of your eyes you are able to see the crop growth, why is that the government unable to buy the crops on time? Why a farmer has to cry? Why a farmer has to run around for selling his own crop, which was not done, which was not there earlier in the last 5 years? Why is it happening today? That is the biggest burning point. And obviously, if we are in power, we were in power last 5 years, this situation was not there for the farmers. This situation is now. For the last 3 years it has come. When we were in power, it was not there, and if we are in power, it will never be there. And the other thing I want to talk about is about the pensions. 3,000 you have said you will give every month, age old pensions. Why are you unable to give it? Why did you change your word? If we were coming back to power, Chandrababu Naidu garu from June 1st, 2019, he would have given 3,000 rupees to every age old man or woman in this state. Why is Jagan unable to do it? Day one only he changed his word. You said you will give 3,000, you are unable to give 3,000 till date. Whereas your whatever, they used to keep huge boards on that, there used to be calculations. In that calculations, 3,000 pension into 12 months is 36,000, and that 36,000 into 5 years calculated close to 1,80,000. Today in 3 years only, according to your own calculations, if I calculate, maybe because of this I might have done my MBA finance. So if you are able to calculate, the old aged men or women in this state have lost nearly 36,000 rupees. It's not a small amount. When you wanted to get power, you promised them, and today you are beating on their belly. 36,000 for a poor old man or a woman is a huge amount, and that they lost in 3 years.
Yeah.
Now talk about the next 2 years. So you said 1,80,000, 36,000 is gone here. So what is remaining? 1,44,000. Another 2 years of your power, you'll not even get 1,20,000. And you give huge advertisements. Those advertisements you cut off and give it to poor people. Who is asking you to give huge advertisement? When you are able to do it, who is asking you to advertise? 84,000 crores they say they are spending on welfare schemes, and for a poor old man or old woman, they are unable to give 3,000 rupees. They have done 3 years of power already, and the old woman, old man has lost 36,000 rupees. And the next thing is about the youth. They thought they'll get 2,36,000 jobs, and today you are saying I made you volunteers. You go stand in front of the bathrooms, collect the money there. That is your salary. What? For this reason did the youth vote you? No, they didn't vote you for making them stand in front of bathrooms. The teachers didn't vote you because they wanted to go and stand in front of wine shops. Teachers' duty is to talk against those wine shops, to say to their own students that that is a bad thing, they should not do, and you are making them go and stand in front of wine shop. How can a teacher go back to school and say that wine is not something that you should have? Because the student will immediately ask, why did CM make you stand there then, if it's a bad thing? Today only I read somewhere that someone in a foreign country is trying to cross a road. There are no vehicles on the road, but there is a red signal. So he's an Indian. He wanted to cross. Whereas an old white guy stopped him and said that don't cross. He said there are no vehicles. Why can't I cross? He said it's good. If you cross, there is a child walking from the other side of the street. He's watching you. That's why I want you not to cross, because he will think that even if there is a red signal, he can cross, and that will spoil an entire generation. Today, what is happening to the next generation? You can stand in front of bathrooms, that's a youth job. You can stand in front of wine shop, that's a youth job. What are we trying to tell to the next generation by the current deeds of the current government? You can not buy from farmers and leave their crops on the road, or farmers are unable to sell their crops, but you can happily say that you are giving 84,000 crores welfare scheme. For whom and for what?
The youth should be in the politics. What we have to do? Because majority of all the political meetings are done in villages or in the centers of any city. But we can't find more of them in university levels. Like you people require and need to go to the university and speak about these things and awake the minds of the youth, because this country's life is on the hands of the youth. I hope you will. What do you say for that?
Surely we will go into colleges. We are setting up a tone, and obviously there is a program that's being laid down. Obviously I can't talk about it right now, but obviously all the colleges in this state will have a touch point where we will go, we will address the issues, and there are many issues that are coming up, and already they're being addressed in a small level, but they will be on a big way, on a big scale, on a big platform, especially for the youth, especially for the students who are going to pass out in the next 2 years. If on all probabilities, when we come back to power, these will be the students that will be walking out of the colleges. So we are going to go on a big scale. We are taking our own points on agenda of how we have to do it, and soon you will see it on the ground level. It is going to happen, that going to colleges, especially in Hedcharla, we have a triple IT, we have BR Ambedkar University, Shivani College, these are all there. We will go in there, we will talk with them, we will obviously tell the situation of the state, not tell the situation of the state, but listen from them what exactly the situation is. It's more important. So we are going to formulate a agenda and a plan, and we will take it forward.
But do you have a long-term dream? Can you share with us? Or do you want to hide it as a secret?
Personally, I have got nothing much to talk about as a dream, but obviously whenever I have a time, I spend it personally with my own family, and
Oh,
I
that's
just, yeah, because obviously last 2 years since getting into politics, it's been all about people, and you sit with them. So whenever I get a personal time, it's more about sitting with my own family, mother, wife, and especially mother and wife. Dad again, because he's more busy than me. So yeah.
That's great. Anyway, sir, thank you once again. Having a great time with you, and I hope and I wholeheartedly I wish you all the best for your future endeavors.
Thank you
Thank you
very
very
much.
much.
Thank you, man.